I don't often talk about polling on this program because I think the pollsters normally get it wrong. But the New York Times, along with Siena, released what I think may be the most impactful poll of all time. We'll get to that graph in just a moment, guys. Hang on one second here. First off, the poll says that 67% of the country thinks that we are headed in the wrong direction. That's an important factor, certainly with Joe Biden at the helm. But more importantly, this poll shows Donald Trump ahead in 5 of 6 swing states. Now, I say this is the most impactful poll for one reason, because Democrats are now using it. They're weaponizing this poll to go after their base to try to get Joe Biden to step down. And I'm going to explain to you why I believe that's happening after witnessing what I saw yesterday on the mainstream media networks. Now let's get to the poll. If we throw this graph up, these are the 5 swing states. This is stunning to the core that the New York Times would admit this. And 2, I actually may think it's underestimated. But if you go through it, he's got Nevada up by 10, President Trump up by 10, Georgia, President Trump up by 6 points over Joe Biden, Arizona up by 5, Michigan up by 5, Pennsylvania, President Trump up by 4 points, and the only swing state, Wisconsin, President Trump is down by 2 points, but that's well within the margin of error. And I think this could be underestimated. Now, the reason this poll is stunning is, one, it's a New York Times poll. It's a left-wing outlet. They're not going to want President Trump up and the world to know it. But right now, what I think is at play is the media now using this poll, as I said, weaponizing this poll to go after the base to say, hey, Joe Biden cannot win. For the first time, I'm seeing cracks in the Democrats that maybe they are bringing to fruition what I have called Operation Oust Joe Biden. I told you it would come into play at some point. I want you to look at ABC's George Stephanopoulos asking his panel a question that I have not heard them yet talk about. Listen to this.
This is probably going to lead to a lot of Democrats increasing the chatter that Joe Biden should step aside and make room for another Democrat.
And I think the problem that Democrats have is they don't know who that Democrat would be right now. I don't think that people look at Kamala Harris and feel like she is ready to take that step forward. They look across the rest of the party, governors, senators, mayors, House members, and they're struggling to figure out who they could put up if it's not Joe Biden. And so I think the reality is Democrats are probably going to run Joe Biden.
Well, maybe, maybe not. But when was the last time you ever heard George Stephanopoulos say Democrats asking about a replacement for Joe Biden? Not recently. To add a name to the list, we know that the Democrats would like nothing more than to run Gavin Newsom in place of Joe Biden. But they have the situation with Kamala Harris. Other Democrats were marched out to make the push that we are in dire straits, the Democrats are. The world is going to end. We can't beat President Trump with Joe Biden at the helm. This is Congresswoman Jayapal talking about something she's never said before.
But I will tell you, this is the first time, Jen, that I have felt like the 2024 election is in great trouble for the president and for our Democratic control, which is essential to moving forward.
So, again, we don't hear Democrats talk like that about Joe Biden until this poll came out. And maybe it's all orchestrated because that's exactly what Democrats do. They plot, they plan, they scheme. And make no mistake, the media calls the shots for the Democrat Party now. It is a switch. Everyone says, oh, the media works for the Democrats. That is not the case, folks. The Democrats work for the mainstream media. The mainstream media sets the agenda. These Democrat lawmakers go push it. If the mainstream media wants Joe Biden out, Democrat lawmakers will then push it. We saw that from Jayapal there. Now, why is this happening to Joe Biden? Well, they've pushed a radical woke agenda, embracing the extreme LGBTQ alphabet city mentality, this transgender nonsense. Then, of course, there's the weakness of Joe Biden, which has put enemies on the move across the globe, which now has minorities saying, you know what, Joe Biden's too weak. We don't like the woke agenda. We don't like the immigration situation, they are coming to the Republican Party. Lo and behold, CNN spelled it out.
The New York Times, in the write about it, says, in a remarkable sign of a gradual racial realignment between the two parties, the more diverse the swing state, the farther Mr. Biden was behind, and he led only in the whitest of 6.
Do you see what they're saying? That President Trump is winning in the most diverse states, and Joe Biden has captured the lily white states.